Hello everybody, welcome back to Cloudy Cleric. I'm Oliver. Hi, hello. As of right now, it is 10:04 p.m. on August 25th, so happy birthday, Dad, because the 25th is my dad's birthday. But that also means that in 2 hours, when it is 12 a.m., it will be the 26th, and that is my birthday, and I will be turning 17 this year. I'm kind of dreading turning 17. I kind of have a fear of growing up, a lot like a character that I discuss on this channel a lot. Anyway, I just finished this painting that you are watching me do on the screen. It took me 12 hours. I knew I wanted to put it as the background for whatever video I was going to make next. Well, the truth is, I still don't know what video this is gonna be. If we're completely honest, I'm just sitting here and I'm like, I want to upload a video. I haven't uploaded a video in 4 days. I want to talk about byler, and I want to info dump and word vomit to all of you guys. But like, I don't know exactly. I don't know specifically what I want to do. For my 17th birthday, or not today, I guess tomorrow for my 17th birthday, I've had a couple of video ideas that I want to do for like the next couple of weeks. I mean, they'll be like in between like your regular byler content. I think it would be a cool idea to talk about how byler specifically and Will Byers has helped me on my journey discovering that I am queer and I am trans and that I am gay. That was the like main idea in my head for when I sat down to make this video. I've told this story many times on my channel, but the first time I was ever able to watch Stranger Things was a little bit before the 3rd season came out, and then I watched the 3rd season, and granted, I had been wanting to watch Stranger Things forever. Everybody in my grade had watched it. I felt kind of like the odd man out, but also there was something about like the horror element mixed with the supernatural element along with like the superpowers in the 80s that just like really like it really like clicked with me. I can't really describe it. Back then I was a big 11 fan because even before I watched Stranger Things, telekinesis has always been like super fascinating and super interesting to me. So obviously I liked 11 a lot, and she was a girl boss, and I still thought I was a girl, so I was like, I'm so 11 core. I'm 11. I'm a girl boss. Girl, I am not 11, and my ass knew I was not 11, and I said it anyway. I always had an appreciation for Will, but like also this was in middle school, so a lot of my memories are like a little bit trauma blocked, so I don't really remember my middle school experience that well. I always kind of connected with him, I feel like. And then the 3rd season rolled around, and I watched it, and I remember seeing the "it's not my fault you don't like girls" scene. It sparked something in me. That was the moment that like I knew that like I felt some sort of like kinship with Will, and I just couldn't put it into words because I was just discovering that I was queer like maybe the year before. And of course, like, I'm a lost queer teenager with undiagnosed autism, and so I just latched onto anything that like somewhat I related to and made sense to me, and Will Byers happened to be that character that was there for me, that even though he wasn't technically confirmed as gay, and all the interviews back then, they were told to say that Will's sexuality was up to the viewer to decide, I still latched onto him. I could still tell. I remember I spent hours, and I mean hours, working on my byler theories, writing down my exact opinions on the rain scene and what it meant. There was something about him being a character at the time that like kind of wanted to grow up, like he wanted to leave his past behind, which I felt in a way that I couldn't really put into words. Like, I felt very similar. Not that I had like a super traumatic childhood, but I definitely went through some things as a kid that when I was around Will Byers' age, especially in season 3, like I desperately wanted to move on from. So TLDR, I saw Will Byers and I was like, oh, he's gay. I had like some sort of kinship with him that like I could not describe in words. After getting bullied pretty heavily in middle school, not like I wasn't getting bullied in middle school before this, but I was still very much bullied after this as well. I kind of learned to repress my interests in order to be socially acceptable, if that makes sense. I repressed my Stranger Things hyperfixation for a while, and it was always there. I was always like a big fan of Stranger Things. I always liked it. I was always like, I'm so Will Byers, I'm Will Byers. Like, even I knew, and like, I hadn't done my like deep dive into Stranger Things at that point. And then season 4 comes out. I watch season 4 and I would see as Will, even more obviously than season 3, is just pining over Mike. It struck something in me again. Like, I saw myself in this gay little guy. I saw myself in him being sad and lonely and wishing that he could just have a partner and be out, because I don't know if you know this, but I live in Utah in the United States. If you watch Stranger Things, you know what Utah is because Susie lives here. Half of the state's population is Mormon, and Mormons, not that they'll like officially say this, but they don't particularly like gay people too much. I don't know. Whatever. When season 4 came out and I just saw it like more up front and in my face, and like queer representation, and like seeing this kid just like go through that experience, I can't describe it. Something about it just like clicked with me, and that's like a very common theme. And so I started thinking about my transition in middle school from female to male, and how Will Byers might have played a role in that. Ever since I was little, I've definitely been a tomboy, or I was perceived as a tomboy. I had a very hard time accepting myself as trans. There was something in the back of my mind where just like being shown like bromances as a child, or like shows where like there's a group of boys and they can be friends without toxic masculinity and that kind of stuff. Like, just like, I always wanted to be friends with the boys in my class, and I always wanted to do what the boys were doing, but I didn't know how to put into words that meant that I also wanted to be a boy. I just didn't know how to say that at the time. And if you feel that way and you don't want to be a boy, like, that's totally fine and totally valid. But for me personally, that was me realizing that I felt more of a kinship with these boys, and I wanted to have more male friends. I wanted to have that kind of tropey summer boy friend group, like The Body by Stephen King. And I think Will Byers wanting that to happen in Stranger Things, like, he very obviously wanted his friend group, his tight little boy brotherhood bond with his 3 other buddies, but he also felt such a disconnect from them, especially in the 3rd season, from being queer, and they were growing up, and he was realizing that, like, he's not like them. Just something about that, I feel like it's very obvious, but I can't put into words, like, how that really put into perspective that I felt a lot like Will. I wanted male friends, I didn't have them, and I was always different from them, especially growing up, realizing that I was trans and I was gay. I don't have a lot to say about Mike for this video. I did have like a really big crush on him, maybe. Since like I first watched Stranger Things. We don't have to talk about it. Shh. We don't have to talk about it. But that's all. That's my rant for today. If you made it this far, please make sure to like and subscribe because it's my birthday and it's homophobic if you don't. Just kidding. And sorry there isn't a video to go along with this with my face. I don't know. It's a lot easier for me to sit down and rant if I'm just holding a microphone and I'm on my bedroom floor. Oh my god, I've been holding in that burp this entire fucking video. I'm sorry. Well, I will see you guys in the next video. Please let me know if you want me to do more rants, because Lord knows that I have some Stranger Things thoughts, if you can't tell by this video. Okay, I really need to wrap this up now. Okay, alright. See you in the next video. Bye, everyone. Have a nice night or day or whatever.